Of your choice. At Hendricks, the options are endless for style and comfort that will last a lifetime. Come shop Amish and American-made furniture on sale now. Hendricks Home Furnishings in Verdon and online at hendricks.tv, where you can always talk to the owners.
92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Today, partly sunny with a high near 37. Cloudy tonight with a low around 23. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 33. Chance of snow tomorrow night with a low around 29. Thursday, windy with rain and snow during the day, turning to snow in the afternoon. High near 36, but temperatures plummet to -1 overnight. Friday, continued windy and cold with light snow and high temperature of only 5 degrees. And Christmas Eve will be partly sunny, breezy and cold with a high near 8. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
This is the Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week, sponsored by Barcom Security.
Hi, I'm Officer Drew Zabados, Crime Stoppers Coordinator for Sangamon and Menard counties. This week, Crime Stoppers is seeking information to assist the Springfield Fire Department. Arson investigators reference arsons that occurred at Washington Middle School and Matheny Withrow Elementary in Springfield, Illinois, during the early morning hours of December 8, 2022. Video footage shows a male and female suspect lighting 2 fires outside of Washington Middle School, including one near the gas main. The damage was estimated at approximately $3,000. Photos of the suspects can be viewed on our website, cashfortips.us. There are no photos available from Matheny Withrow at this time, and it is unclear if the incidents are related. If you can identify the suspects, call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 217-788-8427. Submit a tip on our website or use the P3 app. If your tip results in an arrest, you could receive a cash reward of $2,500. Remember, Crime Stoppers only want your information, not your name.
Catch a criminal, get a reward. Crime Stoppers of Sangamon and Menard County, sponsored by the Springfield office of Barcom Security. BarcomSecurity.com. Have a secure day.
'Tis the season of giving, and there's no better gift than the gift of security. From now until January 1st, new customers that purchase a basic security system with monitoring or switch an existing competitor system to Barcom can qualify for a free doorbell camera. So now you can keep an eye on those pesky porch bandits. To see if you qualify for the free doorbell camera, contact the local Barcom Security office or go to barcomsecurity.com and have a secure day.
So, I'm about to graduate from nursing school, and you know what? Everyone is hiring nurses right now. But where's the right place to start my career? I want to be supported while I learn, with opportunities to grow. And I want a place where I feel valued. So, I'm choosing Memorial Health. Memorial has amazing training facilities, tuition assistance, and so many options for clinical experience. Want to be coworkers? Apply online at jobs.memorial.health/nursing. Memorial is an equal opportunity employer.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. Oh my God, I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk.
He's not wrong. You might want to.
Snow. I gotta get the bread and milk. Oh my God. I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. Oh my God.
Tito. He is a comedian, and that's a video that's like, how many years is it? 9 years ago. It's got like 19 million views because it's just so funny and so true that too often when we get news of impending winter weather, you got to go out and get that bread and milk. So what is happening with the weather? We'll update you all throughout the day, but we do have a major winter storm that's heading our way. Not just precipitation, but high winds. And when you got snow accumulating, that's going to add up and make for a sticky situation. But we could get a white Christmas, the first in 5 years? I'll take it. Meanwhile, we've got a ton of other things to get to. Good morning. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, where we're live and local each and every weekday morning from 6 to 9, where you can also chime in live and local at 217-629-7970. Got to fix that graphic there. But ultimately, you can interact with us at any time. Again, 217-629-7970. You can also email me, bishoponair@gmail.com, or find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you missed anything from yesterday or from here on out, you can always go to my YouTube channel and find us, all that we talk about, and even segmented clips out of various things. Like, for instance, our conversation with State Representative LaShawn Ford yesterday about House Bill 5855. We also talked with Adam Andrzejewski from OpenTheBooks.com about federal earmarks, and a whole bunch of other things there as well. So go check that out, again, on the YouTube channel, Bishop on Air. Subscribe as well, because the more subscriptions I get, the more likely we are to reach a bigger audience. Let's go ahead and tackle a bunch of headlines here. Closer look at the January 6th panel and what they say were the laws that were broken. We talked about this yesterday, even with your phone calls, about the January 6th committee that met for the final time this year, for the final time that Congress, I believe, as they get ready for a new Congress. But this January 6th panel was impaneled by Democrats, and they picked 2 Republicans to serve with, 7 other Democrats that will have this ability to refer charges. And those 2 Republicans that they selected aren't going to be in Congress next year. Adam Kinzinger from Illinois, he decided not to seek another term. And Liz Cheney, former Vice President Dick Cheney's daughter, lost her reelection bid. So they're on this panel with other Democrats that Democrats are not going to be controlling the House next term. But anyways, they did take the moment to vote for at least 4 different crimes that they referred to the Department of Justice to go after the former president, Donald Trump, and several of his associates. Trump said in a statement that, quote, "These folks don't get it, that when they come after me, people who love freedom rally around me. It strengthens me. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger," Trump said. But what were some of the charges that they referred to the Department of Justice? This isn't official charges. This actually the doesn't really do much as by way of actually carrying any legal weight. There's already a special counsel that's investigating Trump, Jack Smith, already looking into a bunch of allegations. But the January 6th committee, they did pass unanimously, again, mostly Democrats, 2 Republicans that aren't going to be in Congress anymore or lost their bid for re-election. Obstruction of an official proceeding is one charge they referred. Conspiracy to defraud the U.S. is another charge. Conspiracy to make a false statement, and also the issue of inciting or aiding an insurrection. So we'll hear a lot more about all of that in the weeks and in months ahead, as you've got the former president who has declared that he's going to run for another bid for the White House. Meanwhile, other headlines that are fascinating, especially as we get into the colder months, and a lot of concern about the, quote, triple-demic, and you've got upper respiratory issues and even young kids being impacted by RSV. What's happening with children's medicine? There are reports of persistent shortages for even over-the-counter stuff, parents looking for alternatives. And it's not just medicine for children. It's medicine across the board. I had somebody I'm familiar with that's getting ready to go into a surgery, and well, they are finding it problematic to get some surgery prep stuff that should be easy to come by, but hasn't been. So there's shortages for medication in the U.S. That's raising some alarms. You've also got the border situation, which we'll talk about quite a bit a little bit later on this hour. Title 42, the U.S. Supreme Court has actually decided to put a stay on lifting that Trump-era policy to essentially block migrants from coming across the border. It was a COVID-era policy, but a lot of concerns about just how porous the border is and how many people have come across the border. So importing individuals across the border, a major issue, but we're also looking at bringing FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried back to the U.S. for extradition. He, of course, was arrested on conspiracy charges. And his attorney said Monday that the founder of FTX has agreed to be extradited to the United States. So we're bringing in Sam Bankman-Fried. We're also bringing in a lot of migrants across the border. But one thing that some farmers here in Illinois and elsewhere are worried about is what we're going to be exporting or what we're not going to be exporting. It's an interesting story. Mexico and the United States moving toward an agreement on genetically modified corn. It's a move that's got farmers all across the country, especially Illinois corn farmers, that'll be impacted. Now, the presidents of 23 state corn growers associations, including the Illinois Corn Growers Association, sent a letter to President Joe Biden calling for him to take action to address the pending decree by Mexico that would block imports of biotech corn. Colin Waters, he's the director of exports and logistics with the Illinois Corn Growers Association, and here he is talking a bit about what this letter ultimately says to the president.
A lot of corn that moves out of Illinois into the Mexican market, particularly on rail, but then also out of the Gulf too. So yeah, I mean, it's not just the kind of the indirect impacts on Illinois farmers that would come from this, but there is direct impacts as well.
So U.S. officials are threatening to take some actions under the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement. That's the trade agreement that former President Donald Trump initiated, arguing that Mexico's decree would hurt U.S. farmers. Your tax dollars coming back to various districts across the state. And in particular, we talked with Adam Andrzejewski yesterday from Open the Books, and he found that $16 billion is earmarked across the country. And in Illinois, we're set to get around $560 million of that. And what exactly are these earmarks? Well, an earmark's a legislative provision that directs approved funding to specific projects. Andrzejewski, he's explaining why these earmarks are there and why these lawmakers pushed for these earmarks.
They're member project, local project, stuffed into these big bills to ensure votes on the big bills, that they go on a bipartisan basis. And our former honorary chairman, the legendary U.S. Senator from Oklahoma, Dr. Tom Coburn, called earmark the gateway drug to runaway spending bills.
And what do these earmarks look like? Well, across the state, you've got the highest earmarked, $49.3 million the Army Corps of Engineers is going to get for the Upper Mississippi River, Illinois waterway system, all the way down to $20,000 for a National Park Service bathroom renovation. But it goes on from there. There's even the prospect of millions of dollars going to public parks from federal taxpayers, and those things stack up quite a bit.
I mean, taxpayers from around the country funding these local projects. Caston, you've got Quigley up in Chicago, $2 million for the Park District. Schakowsky, $2 million for the Park District so they can build a new swimming pool.
So that's something else that you need to chew on. Coming back, let's talk about a few other things that you need to chew on that are happening today, and that is another hearing on HB 5855. That's the proposed gun ban, but you've also got a court hearing about the Safety Act and the Pretrial Fairness Act. So we'll touch on those things as well, and again, get you updated on the weather with even more news headlines. But let's go ahead and look at the forecast, where you've got it's a winter storm headed our way. The high of around 36 today, partly sunny, and then the low of 24, mostly cloudy overnight. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, the high of 34, and then Wednesday night, chance of snow after midnight. And that's when we're going to start seeing the temperatures get all hinky. The low of 29 Wednesday night, but Thursday, it's going to get up to 33 degrees early in the morning, but then it's going to drop down into the teens throughout the day with snow up to 4 inches. Thursday night, snow likely. It's going to drop down to a low of -1 with nearly 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Friday, widespread snow, the high of only 2. It's going to be windy, and we're looking at gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Saturday, patchy blowing snow with a high near 8. For Christmas, though, we're looking at a high of 14, mostly sunny skies. 32 degrees now at 621 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Sale? I say up to 80% off is a sale. Now at A.B. Lauer Jewelers on West Isles, just off Chatham Road.
At A.B. Lauer, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Hey, this is Brian. Christmas is almost here, and I'm getting nervous. I still have a lot of jewelry to clear out, so we're now up to 80% off. It's gotta go.
At A.B. Lauer, we can
share the heartland cheer. We're like a bank, but only better. Merry Christmas. Bank like you own the place. Heartland Credit Union.
For contractors, it's true that time is money. Let Menards save you a bit of both. You'll find the best selection and prices in our real lumber yards and drive-through warehouses. You can drive right up to the materials you purchased in-store or on Menards.com, with plenty of room to load them directly into your truck or van. It's more efficient at Menards. We help contractors get in, out, and back on the job.
Save big money at Menards.
Giving blood while giving back to fight hunger. Right now, when you donate blood at the Impact Life Donor Center, we'll make a $10 donation to Feed America on your behalf. Feed America partners with local food banks. Every $10 donated helps provide 100 meals for people facing hunger. See? Giving blood while giving back to fight hunger. Even if you try to give blood and find out you can't, we're still making a donation to Feed America on your behalf. So don't delay. Make your appointment today. Giving blood is not a big deal, and you're done before you know it. Visit the Impact Life Donor Center today at Wabash and Chatham Road near Goodwill in Springfield or on South Main Street in Decatur. Please, give what's in your heart because we are changing the world together. Visit bloodcenter.org.
If you've already donated to a food bank, just let them know. They've got a voucher for a $10 gift card for you instead. Visit bloodcenter.org.
Hey, John, when you think of the word supply chain, what's your next impulse?
No, turn off the news, run for cover, start whimpering.
Yeah, well, a customer of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World wrote in that they visited the store wanting to buy a microwave.
Something that used to be so simple.
Oh, right. You know what they walked out with?
Let me guess. A microwave.
Exactly. Dick Van Dyke had what they needed in stock, and the customer also remarked as to how helpful the salespeople were, too. Supply chain problems are still a thing, but this customer got the help they needed, and they wrote in to thank us.
You know, a little less whimpering in today's world can't be a bad thing.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Supply chain issues are minimized when you have multiple locations and people who know how to help you with your next purchase. All we do is appliances, and we do them better than anyone else. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
There are 3 words I always hear when someone from our staff is on the phone. We got it. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery, and whenever somebody calls us and asks if we have a certain type of battery, the answer is always, we got it. Even in those very rare instances we don't, we know how to get it. And if we don't know how to get it, we'll build it. That's how committed we are to making sure you have the power you need. From model cars to real cars, from toys to tractors, dog collars to doorbells, riding mowers to remote keys. If it takes a battery, we have it at Rex Battery. Over 75,000 batteries in stock right now. So if you're wondering if we've got a battery, yep, we've got it. They're fresh, fully charged, and ready to go. Keeping Central Illinois fully powered for over 60 years. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and God bless you all.
Merry Christmas to everybody and happy holidays.
From everyone at Springfield Supportive Living.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Now, where's the eggnog?
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
The WMAY Daily Poll is sponsored by Adams Pest Control for commercial, residential, real estate inspections, and termite control. Cast your vote with the WMAY mobile app or at WMAY.com/poll.
And today's poll question is, should the U.S. Department of Justice pursue criminal charges against Donald Trump as recommended by the January 6th committee? Yes or no? Split 50-50 right now. Go vote at WMAY.com/poll or on the WMAY mobile app. It's brought to you by Adams Pest Control.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
All right, there's several hearings happening today that we are going to be monitoring and bringing you the updates for tomorrow. And that is a hearing about gun control and a hearing about no cash bail. Two separate things happening today. And we've been looking at for quite a bit, and we'll hear a little bit more about what's going on. 6:27 now. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, and you can always call in live and local at 217-629-7970. Let's get to the preview of the Safety Act. Now, the Safety Act is the Safety, Equity, Fairness Today Act, I think. Accountability in there as well. Okay, just got to make sure I got my acronyms right. But this thing passed way back in January of 2021 in the previous General Assembly, and here we are now at the tail end of the current General Assembly. And they did pass some modifications in veto session this past fall, where they ultimately had a larger net of detainable offenses. But there's still a challenge in the courts from a slew of state's attorneys and sheriffs, including from here in Sangamon County and elsewhere, dozens from across the state. So this lawsuit's going to be heard in Kankakee County today. I've got a reporter that's going to be out there, so we'll hear a lot more about it coming up for tomorrow. But the hearing's this afternoon, and you've got Winnebago County State's Attorney Jay Hanley saying that the Safety Act, it's flawed. It's flawed, and that's why they're suing to block the implementation.
Despite the filing of this litigation, and I can't emphasize this enough, I, along with many state's attorneys throughout Illinois, remain committed to working with legislators to make necessary changes to the law.
So you've got others as well that are saying that ultimately it's unworkable. Bob Berlin, he's the DuPage County State's Attorney, and he said that they can't get their hands around it.
It is extremely concerning. It's extremely disturbing what is going to come January 1st.
So the lawsuit also alleges that the Safety Act improperly amended the state constitution, and some of the arguments are going to be surrounding, for instance, surety. And what is surety? In the state constitution, it talks about bail and having some kind of surety. Well, surety typically has been considered cash or something of a monetary value. It doesn't say that explicitly in the state constitution. We'll see just how these things get argued in the courts. So that's a hearing that's happening. You've got another hearing that's happening as well. And that's the hearing on House Bill 5855. This was a measure, of course, that is being proposed by State Representative Bob Morgan, and they're expecting to hear this again for a third time, and that'll be this morning at about 10 o'clock. And a lot of the arguments around there are going to focus on state police, where they'll be testifying. A little bit later on, after 7 o'clock, we'll hear kind of some of the ins and outs of where other law enforcement may stand on the issue of prohibiting legal law-abiding citizens from owning certain types of firearms. So we'll hear a lot more about that coming up as well. A hiring freeze. A recent report from Wallet Hub shows that Illinois is in the bottom 5 states struggling with hiring. And the National Federation of Independent Business, Illinois State Director Chris Davis, he discussed various things that Illinois businesses are having to contend with when it comes to hiring new workers. And here's Davis talking about, it's about costs and a whole bunch of other things.
We're sort of in a pause of uncertainty right now. I think less than 1 in 5 businesses have fully recovered from the pandemic. You still have inflation being a substantial burden on small business owners.
And Davis talking some more about the hiring of new workers, and not just the hiring of new workers, but the lack of qualified workers for the workforce.
You have a misalignment of needs of employers and skills of workers. Of those 44% of employers attempting to hire, you have 48% of those 44% reporting a lack of qualified applicants.
So again, some Illinois businesses putting a freeze on hiring, and the Illinois job market openings have dipped to 5.6% over the last month. It's down from a 12-month average of nearly 7%. If we do see an economic slowdown, Illinois is considered to, as it historically has been, fare worse than the rest of the country in economic slowdowns. We typically always have a higher than average unemployment rate, and you can obviously see that those types of things will feed into the economy and impact tax coffers for state and local governments. Some other headlines: Amazon failed to properly record work-related injuries at a warehouse in either Illinois and 5 other states. Occupational Safety and Health Administration reports that it handed out 14 citations during inspections at 6 warehouses in Illinois, New York, Florida, Colorado, and Idaho. So while you're getting all your packages for the holidays, be thinking about the workers that have to endure quite a bit, not just those driving around in conditions like what we're going to get with this winter weather, but also those who are in the warehouses, making sure that boxes get where they need to go, that your goods get where they need to go. And obviously we want them to have the best working conditions that are possible. Tons more to get to. All right, so stay tuned. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. We'll talk about immigration coming up next, and of course, you can always chime in live and local at 217-629-7970. It's right now 6:33. Let's get a headline check.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. The maker of the popular Fortnite video game will pay $520 million in penalties and refunds to settle complaints revolving around children's privacy and its payment methods that tricked players into making unintended purchases. The settlement between the Federal Trade Commission and Epic Games consists of $245 million in customer refunds and a $275 million fine for collecting personal information on Fortnite players under the age of 13 without parental consent. It's the biggest penalty ever imposed for breaking an FTC rule. A major winter storm coming to Springfield could have a big impact on holiday travel. The National Weather Service says it expects measurable snow and strong winds from Wednesday night through Friday. Forecasters say there's a good chance of having a white Christmas this year, something that happens about 30% of the time. Springfield's most recent white Christmas was in 2017. The snow will be followed by bitter cold, with wind chills down to 20 below zero or colder on Christmas Eve. Top elected officials delivered an emotional farewell to State Senator Scott Bennett, who died earlier this month at the age of 45. Governor J.B. Pritzker was among those delivering eulogies for Bennett, a Champaign Democrat who had served in the state Senate since 2015. Senate President Don Harmon and State Treasurer Mike Frerichs were choked up as they talked about their friendship with Bennett, who died of a brain tumor. Bennett was remembered as a smart and funny politician with an ability to work in a bipartisan way to get things done. Gas prices continue to fall in Springfield and around the state and are now at their lowest levels of this calendar year. The average price for regular unleaded in Springfield is down to $3.02 a gallon, more than 70 cents a gallon lower than it was just a month ago. It's the lowest price in well over a year, as gas stood at around $3.30 to $3.40 a gallon last December and January. Prices began to take off after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, peaking at a record high of $5.27 a gallon locally back in June. Demolition work is set to begin on some of the remaining structures at the former Pillsbury Mills site. The site's nonprofit owner, Moving Pillsbury Forward, says 2 dilapidated warehouses will be the first structures to come down because they have partially collapsed and pose a safety hazard to anyone on the site. The group says community volunteers have already cleared the site of vegetation and trash, removing more than 700 cubic yards of garbage and debris over the past 9 months. A news conference will be held later this week with more details on the demolition effort. The Faith Coalition for the Common Good in Springfield and other groups are calling on Illinois prosecutors to drop their legal challenges to the law that will end cash bail in the state on January 1st. Nearly 60 states' attorneys, including Dan Wright in Sangamon County, have filed suit contending that the Pretrial Fairness Act is unconstitutional. Judges were already required by law to avoid using bail as a means for keeping people in jail before trial and instead release most defendants under court monitoring even before the Pretrial Fairness Act was passed. Groups say that ending cash bail would create a more equitable justice system in Illinois. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Less frustration, more vacation. Book a nonstop flight from Springfield's Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport, SPI, to Fort Myers, Punta Gorda at Allegiant.com and experience the sun, fun, and relaxation of Southwest Florida. Find low fares and save big by bundling at Allegiant.com. Fly from SPI and spend more time enjoying vacation. Book your flight from SPI at Allegiant.com. Fly local. Fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
The last thing you want to do is disappoint your mom. Well, remember how she'd always tell you not to show up empty-handed when you're invited to a party or family gathering? And remember how she always said you should support local businesses? Make Mom proud on both counts by showing up with a gift from Elkhart Station. They offer a wide variety of food items, wines, and gift items made right here in Illinois, sure to impress the host or hostess. Mom would definitely approve. Elkhart Station, Route 66 in the heart of downtown Elkhart.
Well, you know, Christmas is only a couple of weeks away, and the big old GOB sale at A.B. Lauer Jewelers is going crazy. Lots of great jewelry on sale at crazy prices, up to 80% off. Nothing's being held back. We're now open Mondays 11 to 6, so our hours are 11 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Don't wait any longer. We'll be closed forever after the holidays. A.B. Lauer Jewelers in the beautiful Montvale Junction Shopping Center on West Isles.
The Riverbank Lodge. Stop in Monday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. for the best lunch in Petersburg, and nightly 4 to midnight where you can enjoy food, drinks, and gaming. Why not stay the night? Ask about our room rates. The Riverbank Lodge, Petersburg. Play slots or try a hand at video poker and win big with Excel Entertainment, Illinois' leading terminal operator. Take a spin with us and have your pick of the hottest games and enjoy the latest upgrades. Gaming as easy as 3-2-win. Powered by Excel Entertainment. Game on.
Hi, it's Ed Lex with Edward Jones. Listen to the Business Spotlight with Edward Jones this afternoon at 5:40 on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Today, partly sunny with a high near 37. Cloudy tonight with a low around 23. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 33. Chance of snow tomorrow night with a low around 29. Thursday, windy with rain and snow during the day, turning to snow in the afternoon. High near 36, but temperatures plummet to -1 overnight. Friday, continued windy and cold with light snow and a high temperature of only 5 degrees. And Christmas Eve will be partly sunny, breezy, and cold with a high near 8. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Holiday Mega Passes and Jumbo Passes from the Illinois State Fair are on sale now. Through December 31st, get the best prices of the year. Mega Passes are good for unlimited carnival rides all 11 days of the fair in Carnival Midway and Adventure Village. Only $60 right now. For only $10 more, get the Jumbo Pass that also includes unlimited use of the giant slide during the fair. Easy to order, available 24/7 at www.illinoisstatefair.info or call 217-782-0775 during regular business hours to order. Orders can also be placed by mail or fax. Your 2023 Illinois State Fair Holiday Mega and Jumbo Passes. Now only $60 and $70. Get yours before December 31st.
How would you like to work for the area's premier multimedia marketing and advertising company right here in Springfield? Well, here's your opportunity. At Midwest Family, we're looking for talented and dynamic account executives who thrive in a fast-paced working environment. Those who are passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive. Are you a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have a grasp on today's digital media? And do you have the ability to cultivate lasting relationships and partnerships? If this sounds like this is for you, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on our careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, we offer unique sales career opportunities where you're given a challenging mission, world-class tools like HubSpot CRM, ongoing training, and the chance to realize your full potential as a marketing and advertising sales professional. This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager at Midwest Family Springfield. Are you my next candidate? If so, please apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. Right after 9/11, officials discovered that the hijackers were all carrying U.S. driver's licenses and state IDs that were fraudulent. So in 2005, Congress passed the Real ID Act, and it required a new standard for an approved ID for all Americans who want to travel. We'd have to carry an enhanced driver's license, but it's never been implemented. And once every 18 months or so, the deadline for us to get that ID has been pushed back. The latest deadline to get the Real ID was May of 2023. But once again, the Department of Homeland Security pushed the deadline for enforcement back another 2 years. For the moment, if you have a valid U.S. passport, you may never need an enhanced driver's license. For more information, visit petergreenberg.com. I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute.
Becco's new dishwashers use 1/3 the energy and half the water of U.S. standards for dishwashers. And from now until December
31st. You can save up to $200 in gift card rebates on eligible models. Visit Becco.com for more details.
92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
How concerned are you about the border crisis that now a lot of the corporate media is actually starting to report on? Because it's something you can't not see when they're filling up various shelters across the border, where you've got the governors of some of these border communities, including in Florida, where they're busing these migrants to different places, including Chicago. But also you've got the issue of Title 42, which is a Trump-era policy that allowed for immigration officials to expel migrants who entered the U.S. during a public health emergency, like we have with COVID-19. I think the Biden administration is continuing that health emergency, so why not have Title 42 continue? Well, Title 42 had 19 states file a lawsuit to the U.S. Supreme Court to try to block the end of Title 42. Again, Title 42 is a Trump policy that allowed for immigration officials to turn migrants around at the border because of a health crisis, but it's set to be lifted. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court, Chief Justice John Roberts, temporarily putting a stay on that. And what that means is they're pausing any action moving forward temporarily. So the stay is in place while they continue to hash this out, but I don't know if that's going to stop the flow of migrants coming across the border. And of course, we'll go to Twitter to just look at some of the recent sound that there is about where people are standing on this. And I want to hear from you as well, here with Springfield's Morning News at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number again, 217-629-7970. You can email bishoponair@gmail.com. We can connect that way. So the White House, they're reacting to this, the border crisis. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre talking about the White House and what they're doing about the border crisis. As Buck Sexton, who you hear here on these airwaves from 11 to 2 with Clay Travis, he highlights one particular part of what the White House has to say about the border crisis.
It would be wrong to think that the border is open. It is not open. And I just want to be very, very clear about that.
We're meeting here just minutes after, as Darlene pointed out,
It would be wrong to think that the border is open. It is not open. And I just want to be very, very clear about that.
So they say it's not open, but you look at other reports, and indeed it very much is a significant problem that is having to be dealt with. Even ABC News having to highlight this this morning with various reports. But the way they also characterize the messaging of is the border open in a recent interview that ABC had with Texas Governor Greg Abbott. This is with the reporter seeming to blame Greg Abbott and others, including Ron DeSantis down in Florida, for the messaging saying that the border is open. And again, Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis are opposed to the border policy from President Joe Biden. So here's a bit of the characterization of sorts of an ABC reporter talking with Greg Abbott.
You talk about the border wall, you talk about open borders. I don't think I've ever heard President Biden say, we have an open border, come on over. But people I have heard say it are you, are former President Trump, or Ron DeSantis. That message reverberates in Mexico and beyond. So they do get the message that it is an open border, and smugglers use all those kinds of statements.
It was known from the time that Joe Biden got elected that Joe Biden supported open borders. It is known by the cartels who have sophisticated information whether or not the Biden administration is going to enforce the immigration laws or not.
So Greg Abbott responding to that, saying that the border is open because of the president's policies. And just how much? Just in the past 2.5 weeks, we've got the El Paso and Del Rio sector in Texas counting over 70,000 migrants crossing the border. Those are apprehensions, and an additional 28,900 who evaded arrest. So that's just from December 1st to December 19th. You're talking an estimated of nearly 100,000 people crossing just that particular sector of El Paso and Del Rio. So this is an obvious issue, and it's causing some to consider what's the breaking point, including in California, where Gavin Newsom reportedly visited the border and said that the California sanctuary state policies causing taxpayers to pay roughly $1 billion over the past 3 years to support health and safety of those migrants crossing the border. But some other headlines up in Chicago. Salvation Army hosted a holiday party for Venezuelan migrants, with the Chicago Bears making a $5,000 donation, and those migrants celebrating their first Christmas in Chicago, while some other Democrat-run cities declaring emergencies amid a surge of migrants crossing the border illegally. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. You can always chime in live and local at 217-629-7970, or you can email me, bishoponair@gmail.com. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, where you've got some frigid weather coming and a winter storm a-brewing. And here's what it's going to look like. We've got a high of 36 today with partly sunny skies. Then the high of 34 Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Wednesday night, interesting. Chance of snow after midnight, the low of 29, and then warming up to a high of 33 by Thursday morning early, but the temperature's going to drop to the teens throughout the day, with up to 2 to 4 inches of snow possible and wind gusts up to 37 miles an hour. Overnight, snow likely, with winds up to 45 miles an hour. Friday, blowing snow with a high of only 2. And winds up to 48 miles an hour. Saturday, we're looking at more blowing snow with patchy snow, the high of only 8. And then for Christmas Day, the high of 14, mostly sunny. So it looks like we are going to have a white Christmas. Now, 6:49, about 32 degrees from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions. And did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
This is Jim over at CBD Botanicals. We've got something for everybody. It could be a topical, it could be a chocolate, it could be a gummy, a drink, a tincture, an inhalable, even a smokable. This week, December 19th through 24th, CBD Botanicals is going to do a buy one, get one 42.0% off sale. And that is on everything in the shop. Every product in the shop. Doesn't matter if it's a vapable, if it's a gummy, if it's a tincture, if it's a dog treat. It is unlimited. You can mix and match as you please, and there is no dollar amount limit. So if you want to get 16 items, 8 of them are going to be 42.0% off. So come on by to 2538 South Cokie Mill Road at the corner of Cokie Mill and Isles, next to Walgreens in the Fresenius building. You might see Tatum, our shop pet. You might see Coraline. You might even see Ollie or Christina as well. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to see me too.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections. Springfield to Chicago O'Hare to anywhere you need to travel on United Airlines. From your next business trip to your next family vacation, United Airlines can get you there from the Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next United Airlines flight from SPI at united.com.
Take the easy way out.
The Riverbank Lodge. Stop in Monday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. for the best lunch in Petersburg, and nightly 4 to midnight where you can enjoy food, drinks, and gaming. Why not stay the night? Ask about our room rates. The Riverbank Lodge, Petersburg. Play slots or try a hand at video poker and win big with Excel Entertainment, Illinois' leading terminal operator. Take a spin with us and have your pick of the hottest games and enjoy the latest upgrades. Gaming as easy as 3-2-win. Powered by Excel Entertainment. Game on.
Attention homeowners, realtors, and bankers. If your home is being recommended for a termite treatment, stop. And get our second opinion from Adams Pest Control. Last year alone, I saved customers tens of thousands of dollars in unneeded treatment recommendations. And if a treatment was indeed warranted, I saved on an average hundreds of dollars versus my competition. Don't just go with the first pest control company or whomever your inspector recommends. Get a free second opinion. Just call me, Sonny Adams, at Adams Pest Control, 544-2122.
92.7 WMAY is stuffing your stockings this holiday season with family 4-packs into the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum. Discover more about Springfield's favorite president. Experience the sights and sounds of history. Be a tourist in your own backyard. Register to win a family 4-pack of tickets into the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum right now at WMAY.com. Happy holidays from the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum and 92.7 WMAY.
'Tis the season of giving, and there's no better gift than the gift of security. From now until January 1st, new customers that purchase a basic security system with monitoring or switch an existing competitor system to Barcom can qualify for a free doorbell camera. So now you can keep an eye on those pesky porch bandits. To see if you qualify for the free doorbell camera, contact the local Barcom security office or go to barcomsecurity.com and have a secure day.
As the stock market slumps and instability this year got you concerned, would you like a way that could protect your retirement when the markets are down? Gold Alliance would like to give you 2 free reports, the Inflation Survival Plan and the Stock Market Correction Plan. Both give actionable insights you can use now that could protect your savings in uncertain times. Absolutely free. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2079. 800-200-2079. 800-200-2079.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
The January 6th committee saying that they are referring charges against former President Donald Trump and others. Love to hear your thoughts at 217-629-7970. You can call in live and local and sound off on that, or if you're watching elsewhere or listening elsewhere at WMAY.com. We can have you sound off there as well. So the January 6th committee, they met for the final time, and they went ahead and decided to provide some referrals. Here's Jamie Raskin talking about the referrals that they made and a unanimous vote. And again, I would love to hear your thoughts on this at 217-629-7970.
We were charged with stealing an event that is radically unique in American history. Nobody before, much less a president, had ever come so close to overthrowing a presidential election and bypassing the Constitution. That's what we were dealing with.
And Raskin saying that the decision was made.
We chose to advance the names of people where we felt certain that there was abundant evidence that they had participated in crimes. And so we're sending those over.
Now, the response from others in Congress, Catherine Falders with ABC has the response from some of them, including Jim Jordan, who was supposed to be on the committee, that was not allowed to be on the committee by Nancy Pelosi. Here's what ABC reports is Jim Jordan's response.
We've heard specifically from Jim Jordan, who is slated to be the top Republican on the Judiciary Committee in the incoming Congress. His spokesperson has said it's just another partisan and political stunt made by the Select Committee, and a lengthier statement called the committee political and said that this questions the legitimacy of their work.
So your thoughts, 217-629-7970. Would love to hear it. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com. What were the things that they ultimately said that they were charging or wanting to see the former Trump presidency charged with possibly inciting violence and an insurrection, and some others calling it a kangaroo court. But you've got the president, former president Donald Trump, on Truth Social talking about this, and he says that this is. Let's see if we can pull up his particular comments, and he's sharing a lot on Truth Social about what exactly happened here. Moving on, talking about the radical left Democrats, communists, he said, spied on my campaign, lied to the FISA court, lied to Congress, allowed an invasion of our country to the southern border, embarrassed us in Afghanistan, gave away our energy independence, killed us on job-losing regulations, wouldn't use the 10,000 plus soldiers I recommended for January 6th, refused to lock into the election fraud, the reason January 6th rigged and stole the 2020 election, former President Trump says, allowed ballot stuffing, FBI, Facebook, Twitter, and Biden crime, and continues on. Continued the previous truth, he says, because it's a continued truth is what they're calling it, not a tweet. But he says, I'm the one that the corrupt and partisan unselect committee goes after. His official statement, though, is that these folks don't get it, that when they come after me, people who love freedom rally around me and strengthens me. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger, he says. Americans know that I pushed for 20,000 troops to prevent violence on January 6th, and that I went on television, told everyone to go home. People understand that the Democrats' Bureau of Investigations, the DBI, are out to keep me from running for president because they don't. They know that I'll win, he says. So obviously, this is something that is just getting more and more contentious. A few phone calls here. Good morning. I got 10 seconds for you. What's up?
This is what Democrats do. They did this in the first impeachment. That was around December of 2020. The second impeachment was December of 2021. And then this now going, this is how they enjoy their Christmas, apparently.
And it's the last bit for the Democrats in the House to do what they want to do before they lose control of it. So, I appreciate the calls and plenty of opportunity for you to call in later on as well. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield.